I'm over here at the tint shop. I found an M5. I looked outside and it's like, whoa, it's an E39 M5. This one needs some love, needs some attention. It's a full leather luxury interior facelift that really could use some TLC.
Are you ready? Ooh, I know you see me standing.
Hey, so we're back from the tint place. I was just going to drive the M5 up there today at about 10:30, 11 o'clock and see the place, talk to somebody, make a final decision on what film, and then schedule installation application of the film for sometime later this week or next Monday or Tuesday. So I go up there, talk to people, extremely helpful, really nice, clean, organized shop. So we talked about it before. To be the Lumar Formula One Series certified installers, Lumar has to actually pick the different shops for that. You don't just get it or buy it or install it or apply. Maybe you can apply, but you got to be a certified shop to work with the F1 product, and they are one of them, and I can see why. Really nice, clean place. It was set up like an operating room. 3 or 4 bays, you drive in, tables at the end, everything was super clean and orderly and well lit and all of the above. Right up in Escondido, about 12 miles from here. So I went up there and the guy's like, when do you want to do it? I said, when can you do it? He said, we can start in 5 minutes. So it's up there getting done. They didn't have anything going on today. Well, they had one customer coming in later, but they're going to have it done by 5. So it's 1:41. Hopefully it all goes well. I've been torn between 35 and 50% now for the couple of weeks I've been looking at this. I pretty much did a coin flip today and went with the 35. So what's on there, the light meter says, is about a 46. So I don't really want to go lighter. You get better infrared heat rejection from the slightly darker series, or slightly darker films. So I did go with the 35. It may be a hair dark. I'll get used to it. Shadow line trim helps. Black interior probably doesn't help with that, but whatever. It'll be very well protected. It's a 60-something% infrared heat rejection film, which is crazy. They had one of those displays where you slide the light around and then feel the heat output from nothing, privacy glass, basic Lumar series, then the CTX ceramic, and then you get into the Pinnacle and Stratos products, which are part of the F1 series, the top line. The Stratos is pretty new. It's like a year old or less. I think it came out this past March, and it was just crazy to feel, even with the Pinnacle, which was the Pinnacle at one point, you still felt some heat, but slide that heat light right over to the Stratos film, and I could not feel heat coming through it. So that's going to be awesome to keep the interior cool. They're all 99% UV protection, so which is great for leather and Alcantara and all that. But it's going to be a good product, and their Yelp reviews are all glowing 4- and 5-star reviews. All of the ones in the last 6 months are 5 stars, and people go back and bring multiple cars, and it seems like it's a great place. So hopefully we'll have it back by 5 today. That would suck if I have to go up there at 5 and the traffic on the 15 and back, but we'll make do. And then in the meantime, an FCP package has delivered. The next E39 source video is in the works. So this is the lower cabin air filter box on the driver's side, which has this little arm bracket thing that sticks out to facilitate installation of the hood sensor. You know, that jobby that always fails and then the alarm randomly goes off. So mine is, all of my plastic's really brittle compared to this. This feels like a completely different type of plastic. It's blacker and it's more malleable and just doesn't feel brittle. It hasn't been through 20 years of heat cycles. So my old arm has a crack right here in the middle, which means that it's not really a tight hole for this thing to sit in, and every time you close the hood comes down and smashes the little pusher down, and would occasionally then the bracket would pop out and cause the alarm to randomly go off later. So we're replacing the whole box. Even came with the little clip that goes up on that peg on the strut tower. The hood sensor's right here, and then we're going to do 2 new cabin filters, because the ones that are in there, believe it or not, when we bought that car in July of 2010, we went to AutoZone. I put 2 filters in. Those are the ones that are still in that car today. So they went through 4 daily driven cycles of winter, and then the last 4 years it's kind of just been, you know, sitting around and nice weather driving. But definitely time to replace those. When Joe and I had them out to replace all the hood cables a month ago, we noticed that there were some fuzzies in there, and it just needs time to replace them. So unfortunately the Mon ones aren't as good as what I had in there. I think I had, well, they probably, like the filter's probably just as good or better, but they're kind of this cheap, weird fuzzy material on the side and then a heavy duty paper. They don't feel as high quality as what I had in there. They had a plastic rim on them and just felt like they were much more substantial. But these will be fine. We'll drop those in along with this hardware in a video that I film later today or tomorrow. Okay, we're back on a fresh battery now. So it died at the end of that last clip, my 5-minuter. And then I went out and never replaced it today, so yeah, it's my fault. We went down to Auto Armor to get some quotes for the 355 since the bumper's been done. We want to 3M the bumper. It's going to be more than that. I'll explain later what's all done in a couple weeks when it's done. My car was done about 4 o'clock. We went up and picked it up and drove back here. It is a little darker, 10%, compared to what was on there. I like it a lot. It looks awesome in the sun. You can barely tell it's any darker. I put it in the shadows and the shade, and that's when you can tell that it's darker. I've noticed a couple of bubbles. That's normal. It's going to take a couple days to disappear. They said the full curing process will be in about a week to 2 weeks, which I think sounds kind of long. It doesn't take that long. At least it hasn't on other cars that we've had tinted. And what was the other thing? I got the warranty card. It was all super professional. They honored the 10% discount. So far, so good. Very happy with it. Went through everything. A couple little water spots on the door panels, but for the most part, everything's great. I did find this in the center console. This is my rear dash cam. To be expected, it was held onto the rear window, aka the tint. So that had to come off, and then there's not enough adhesive there to reapply it. So, thankfully, Blackview gives you a secondary little adhesive pad, which I will probably give it several days or a week before I go and tack something up on that new tint, but all ready to reinstall that, and then we're done. So we had dinner here tonight. We made burgers out on the grill. Actually got some real sandwich buns, or some burger buns this time. It was great. Watched the Lakers get their first win over the Suns at the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. And then watched 2 episodes of Breaking Bad, and now it's time for bed. So that was today. Tomorrow, what do we got? Thursday. I don't know what's going on. We'll see then. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.